Hello and welcome, or should I say Guten Morgen. This is going to be a review of my BMW motorcycle gloves. They're called the Atlantis 3 gloves. I am a motorcyclist. I do have a lot of gear. I have enough gear, and we can never have enough. Well, anyway, these are my gloves. Bought them a few months ago, and they're like new, which is a good thing, which means I haven't come off, and it means I haven't hit anything or nothing's hit me. So, and that's always a good thing. Anyway, these gloves are, one word, incredible. They do everything other than make you very rich. But obviously they are German, but like a lot of things made in the world, they're not made in Germany. Well, I don't think they are anyway, unless it's a secret ploy. I think they are made in China. Hergestellt in China. So, a lot of BMW things are made in China. A lot of UK things are made in China, a lot of American things are made in China. But anyway, thank you, Chinese people. These gloves, like I say, are the BMW Atlantis 3 gloves. They kind of match the Atlantis gear, the jacket and the trousers. Now, or the pants. Now, the jacket is a £750 jacket, which is probably about $1,000, and you're thinking, $1,000 for a motorcycle jacket? But it is nice. I don't have one. I tried it on many times, and I just couldn't. The jacket I went for in the end, I think it was a torso one. It had many more positives on my old positives and negatives tick list. But it's not about that. I'm gonna talk about the jacket in my jacket video, of course. Gloves wise though, I didn't really like the Pro Winter ones that BMW do, and reason why I looked at BMW anyway for their gear is just because they are really the benchmark. They are the top of the gear, and their motorcycles, you have to agree, are just absolutely incredible as well. They're really up their game. But with their gear, you've got the industry standard and you've got BMW standard, and BMW always go way above the industry standard. They have this care, they call it care, which is advanced like rider equipment kind of thing. And but yeah, so obviously it was BMW for me, and the Pro Winter gloves, like I said, they're just a bit too chunky and I couldn't feel much through them. But these seem to be an all-rounder glove. They are, I'll go through some of the fluff, alright, some of the information. I basically designed, these Atlantis 3 gloves are designed really for the Atlantis 4 suit, as I've said. It's the same material, they do match, I'll give it that, they do match. Basically, it's a triple layer laminate Gore-Tex extra fit system that they've got in here. So triple layer Gore-Tex, it's incredible. Water and wind kept out, and the gloves are breathable. My hands have never got hot and sweaty. I know it's December. If you're watching this might be January or February, so that's probably going to be even colder, let's face it. So I've never worn them in the summer, so I'm looking forward to doing that next year, or this year, if you're watching it in the future. And so I've never tried that, but my hands have never felt hot and sweaty, and water has never, these are impermeable. I swear, all the Gore-Tex stuff I've ever had, never had any issues with. My hands have never felt hot, sweaty. They've always kept dry in terms of wind and water. So the inner, so there's two parts to this glove. You've got your inner, which is this kind of sock, which is got kind of like the reflective, the Gore-Tex material in there. So you've got this reflective, not reflective, you've got this inner close fitting, it's called a neoprene cuff. And what you do is you put this inside your jacket. That fits neatly inside your jacket, and then you put this outer layer over the top. Now, even if water was to get into there, so because with some motorcycle gloves, you put it over your jacket, and then if water runs in, you're buggered really. But even if water ran into there, remember this is all waterproof in there. It's got a little hole there. Now, I've ridden in, I'd like to say tornado conditions, but that's a bit of a lie. I'd like to say in very heavy rain conditions, which is a bit dangerous, but these gloves were dripping, they were soaked. Water, you know, they couldn't have got any more wetter unless I just put them in a bath. And they were absolutely fine, no issues whatsoever. So they really are completely waterproof, and I know that's a big issue. And I think this system where you put the neoprene cuff into the jacket and the outer cuff over the jacket is, well, it's foolproof really. Now, and then obviously the outer cuff goes over the jacket sleeve or jacket cuff, and then you've got this zip, which is again completely waterproof and very easy to work. Now, there's two ways I put these gloves on. One, I don't wear a watch of any kind, and I'll tell you why. Because I was wearing a watch, and over time it was creating some discoloration. Now, that's not really wear, but I just thought, well, I don't want that, you know, wearing away eventually. So I decided not to wear a watch. Now, my watches, they're not smart dress watches or anything I wear to, well, yeah, they're not smart dress watches, put it that way. So they're quite high up, most of my G-Shocks. So I was putting the glove on, and of course that was going over there, and that was rubbing the inside slightly. So I've now decided, take the watch off, carry it in a pocket, put it on when I get there. It's a bit more faffing, but hey, I'm a faffer. So I wouldn't really wear watches unless they're quite low profile, quite thin, and then you'll be fine. But just bear that in mind. You don't want to rub away the inside. Well, of any gloves really, but that's just me being a bit faffy. Anyway, so like I say, the way I'd put this glove on, it's not a lesson on how to put gloves on, but I would unzip that, unfasten the Velcro there, roll it up. Obviously, you'd have your jacket on, by the way. You wouldn't just put this on and then put all your gear on. That'd just be, you'd be crazy. Put the glove on, roll this over the jacket cuff. Obviously, this would go inside the cuff. Then I would close the zip, which can be a bit tight, but it's taken a lot of abuse. And then pull it down so you get a nice kind of feel for the glove, so that all your fingers are in the right places and things, and then tighten it there. I don't really bother much about this because I mean, you can, but that's just the third thing that you have to faff with. It's up to you. If you're feeling a faffing mood, you can just faff about with that. But it's a nice feature that part of the glove has, it's non-velcroed or hook and loop, the hook side. So that's really clever, because you can just grab that and then, yeah, so that's a nice feature. So you've got the hook and loop there on the wrist. You've got one here on the cuff. You've got the zip on the cuff. So there you go. So yeah, as I said, the water is channeled out by these two eyelets. I don't think I've ever had to use them, well, not consciously. And the fabric is a Scheller Keypro-Tech fabric, made of highly ridged aramid fibres at the ball of the thumb. Ball of the thumb? Would you say that's the ball of the thumb or that? I'd say that is, because that's the rigid fibres. Extremely resistant to abrasion and tear, and then it's doubled leather on the side of the hand and palm, and the impact absorbing Suprotec foam on the back of the hand and fingers. So this is the Suprotec, so this is the foam on the hand, and you can see these sections of foam. They really are you can press them and they'll go in slightly, but then they'll go exactly back to where they were. Okay, so that's that. It's got so that gives you plenty of protection if you're in a fall. You've got some protection there, and it's a bit of a bit of movement there as well, which is good. What have we got? Yep, easy to put on and take off, I'd say, definitely for that. And there's a high level of wear and comfort due to the soft cowhide. So this is all cowhide leather, velour it says, and the smooth cowhide for the palm as well. It's very, very soft, and it smells incredible. They really do smell really nice. Just a side note. You got your stretch zones for your fingers, and you got your wrist strap, and yeah. So these gloves, I think they'll set you back about 100 something, which is very good value for money in my opinion. I mean, you know, even if you're going to spend, 30 quid or 50 quid for a pair of gloves, if you go that extra mile and go for the full ton, for the full 100, you can you definitely get what you pay for, because these are top notch. Another few features that aren't really on their website or anything that I've picked up on is you've got your visor cleaner, or your windscreen wiper as I call it. Very, very useful, really does work. You wouldn't think so, but hey, it does. So going back to riding in the rain, you use your finger and you just do that across your visor, and it just channels away all the water. Not so good in the dry, if you get lots of in the winter, if you get lots of little bits of mud and stuff that dries quite quickly, it would smudge that. So you've just got to bear that in mind. I wouldn't start using it unless it's raining, because it might make things worse. The fingertips. So this is all leather, all cowhide. Whoa, almost. Crikey. Never mind. That'll add a bit of comedy value for you. But yeah, all this is cowhide leather, all of it, except for the fingertips, which apparently are kangaroo leather. So yeah. I'm not sure about that, whether it's more durable or more grip, but either way, that's the fingertips there for your index finger and your middle finger. But I really like them. I've ridden in a lot of different weathers with them already, and the only slightly thing that I have a negative point about is the fingertips do get a little bit cold. Not the tops of my hand, because this actually, the foam adds for a bit of insulation there as well, but it's mainly the fingertips get slightly cold. But we're talking about a hour to 2 hour ride, and I don't have heated grips, and I don't have anything stopping the wind from getting to my hands on my motorcycle. So an hour to 2 hours and your fingers start to get a bit cold. That's quite good going, really, in my opinion. But yeah, so I'm looking at heated grips. But yeah, I mean that's the only thing. And you can. I've worn liner gloves. I've got some Under Armour liners that I've worn a couple of times with these. In my opinion, you've got to be a little bit careful with that, because although this is leather, inside it's a bit, it's a tiny bit loose. Now, you've got to be careful with liners, because they will enlarge the glove a bit. And if you want to wear these in the summer, you obviously don't want to have a much bigger glove because of your liners in the winter. So just bear that in mind if you are thinking of getting these and then going, I'll deal with the cold by getting liners. Just bear that in mind. I think the best trade-off is to have these and heated grips, but have your heated grips on like the lowest setting, or the second from lowest, and that would be a good combination, because those heated grips would just take the edge off the fingertips, because as I say, everything else is fine, and I've ridden in 0 degrees almost, so with a wind chill, with a 20-30 mile an hour wind, well, yeah, you can work that out. It would be not very cold anyway. But yeah, so that's my review of these BMW Motorrad Atlantis 3 gloves. Yeah, they're a fair bit of money, but oh yeah, forgot to mention this is all reflective, by the way. Forgot to mention that. But yeah, they're a lot of money, but they are incredible pair of gloves. Don't think I'll ever need another pair because the winter ones, for me, are just a bit too big and I like to feel the bike, feel what she's doing. Anyway, that's my review. If you have enjoyed this review, or you want to make a comment about the gloves or anything like that, visit my Facebook, Twitter or whatnot. Like the video, that helps, and subscribe for more motorbike or gear reviews. Stay safe. Goodbye.